Yeah, bossy YouTube, Elmas here, and I have for you guys today, week 5 of EXPNU, and this is going to be the team building video for that match. Now, first off, there will be no face cam for this, just because I'm really running short on time. So I don't want the extra editing or rendering to kind of get in the way. So I hope you guys understand about that. I've had to work 11-hour shifts all this week and I'm really exhausted. So I'm really sorry about that. But if you guys are a proud member of the Black City Superiors and or the Durham Druddigons for the UCL, make sure to show our support. Hit the like button down below. Now, first off, I did actually already have my EXPNU match, but I will not be doing any spoilers for that in this team building analysis video. I will try to explain to you guys the thought process that I had while I was making my team and whatnot. There is, however, one giant thing I have to point out, and I want to blame this on me being so exhausted because I've had to work so many hours. I brought Habomberry Skuntank. Half damage taken from a super effective dragon type attack, single use. I read it as half damage taken from a dragon type attack. Super effective was nowhere in my thought process when I was like, I'm gonna bring Habomberry Skuntank, surprise Latios, and destroy its soul with a pursuit. That was basically my thought process. So first off, let's take a look at Hermes' team. It's really not that scary. The only real big problem that I saw at first was Mega Beedrill. Now, if you look at my team, also a little update, I traded Rotom Mo for Amoonguss, and I recently traded Medicham for Clawitzer. Those just, I don't know. I may trade back for Rotom Mo, actually. I may just trade off Gorbis or something. I don't know yet. But yeah, anyways, we don't have Rotom Mo or Medicham. We have Amoonguss and Clawitzer. But at the time, I didn't have Clawitzer, so not concerned about that. Anyways, Mega Beedrill literally U-turns on my entire team for free, unless I can potentially Sucker Punch it with Skuntank. It pretty much just comes in and U-turns all day, all night, unless I have some type of hazard up. Although I do have Fortress, the only thing wrong with Fortress is that he can knock off predicting me to switch into Fortress, get rid of my leftovers, and just eventually wear me down little by little because Mamoswine hits me pretty hard, Doublade sits up all over me, Umbreon can just wear me down with Foul Play, Azumarill can Waterfall, Latios can hit and Power Fire, even Draco Meteor hurts because Fortress doesn't have the best special defense around. If he has Sock, he can close combat me. If he has Pyro or Fire Blast, just, yeah, even though Fortress didn't exactly look like a good Pokemon to bring in this matchup, I really didn't want to have just Defog Skuntank, so I decided to bring Rapid Spin Fortress with Rocky Helmet for the Beedrill, because what I was thinking is that most of the time I think he's just going to be U-turning, especially if I don't have some type of hazard up. So I can bring in my Fortress, he's going to take Rocky Helmet damage, I can wear him down little by little, and then just kind of go from there. Yes, I don't have leftovers, but Rocky Helmet ultimately I think will help me more, or I thought would help me more than leftovers. Originally I did have Spikes over Explosion because the only way of him getting rid of my hazards is Defog on Latios, which can easily be beat by my Skuntank, by my Altaria, and by my Cresselia. So I thought having both Rocks and Spikes would be really helpful to me in this match, because he would be pressured most of the time, and I would be able to just get so much residual damage on his team as time goes on. So let's just say for right now I have Spikes. I have Spikes on Fortress, okay? Let's change it. Spikes. So right now we have Spikes. So next off, not Fortress. Beedrill was still kind of an issue. Azumarill, I did realize, can put in a lot of work against my team. Like, there's literally nothing that switches into it outside of Amoonguss. Now, at the time of me building this team, I had, actually, no, because last week is when we got Amoonguss. During week 3, was it? No, during week 4 is when we got Amoonguss. So yeah, I needed to bring Amoonguss because outside of Choice Band and Ice Punch, there is really nothing that Azumarill can do to Amoonguss. This would also allow me to have another Rocky Helmet Pokemon because of Regenerator. I don't exactly need to have any other form of recovery. This would allow me to have another switch in to this Beedrill's U-turn. I think Adamant Beedrill's U-turn only does like 40 to 47% max to this max offense, max HP Amoonguss. Not to mention that with Foul Play, I can actually beat SD Doublade one-on-one. I can switch into the Sock a lot easier. I can also put Umbreon to sleep. I basically get a free Spore unless he brings a Vileplume, which honestly, the 6 Pokemon that I thought he was gonna bring were gonna be these 6 right here, because the rest of his team doesn't match up that well against me. I mean, he's not gonna bring in Probopass because I have Krookodile. At the time, I had Medicham. Thundurus can Superpower. I can set up on it with Cresselia. Earthquake it, Hydro Pump, Earthquake on this as well. So I was really positive he wouldn't bring that. I considered that maybe he would bring Lantern, but even Lantern doesn't really do much against my team, because it's set up fodder for this. I can knock it off with Thundurus. I can Earthquake it with Krookodile. I can set up with Miltank. I can set up with Cresselia. Noivern can just Draco it. Skuntank can Pursuit. Sucker Punch, Sharpedo can Earthquake it. So yeah, I wasn't worried about that. Fletchinder, honestly, Fletchinder's a Fletchinder. I don't really know why he would have brought that. Pyroar, just Altaria, really. Like, why would he want to bring that? Vileplume? I guess he could have brought Vileplume. Vileplume actually would have been a bit of a nuisance to my team, because after I built the entire team, I did realize that I have nothing to really touch Amoonguss outside of my Altaria, so this last minute was changed to a Hidden Power Fire because I didn't really think I needed Synthesis. Sludge Bomb hits harder than Giga Drain because look at his team. He's not going to bring Lantern, so there's literally no reason for me to have Giga Drain, and I can just Sludge Bomb Azumarill, so there was really no need for me to bring Giga Drain. And Hidden Power Fire just helps me out a lot better. Plus, it also allows me to hit Beedrill, I guess, but I think Foul Play does more anyways. So yeah, this was the Amoonguss that I was going to bring. And actually, my Altaria I kind of want to save for last because this is a very special set. Very, very cool set. So, moving on, we're going to go to Cresselia. The main reason why I wanted to bring Cresselia was because it's just a really fat Mon, and it was my absolute best check to Mamoswine. Adamant Life Form Mamoswine is something that I feared week 1 of UCL. It wasn't brought against me, but Cresselia completely walled Nips's Mamoswine. So I was very confident that by bringing Cresselia again, I would be able to just completely hard wall Hermes' Mamoswine if it was Adamant Life Orb, which I'm not going to spoil it for you if it was, because there is no way that Mamoswine can 2-hit KO Cresselia after knockoffing. Well, even after knockoff, unless he flinches me with Icicle Crash, he still can't knock me out. But just Cresselia is and was my absolute best switch into Mamoswine mainly. Plus, with me running Calm Mind, I can set up on Umbreon that don't normally carry Toxic, and I can beat it because I have Moonlight. And then, so I'm not set up fodder for the Doublade. I decided to run Shadow Ball because after 2 Calm Minds, I think Shadow Ball does 2-hit KO Doublade if I'm not mistaken. Plus, Cresselia allows me to check Sock. I can force out Vileplume. Latios. Actually, Latios' Draco Meteor with his EV spread does not 2-hit KO me after he gets the -2. So that's also another very good thing for me to have because it gives me another switch in to the Latios in the form of my Cresselia. I was watching Nappy's team building thing. Anyways, he is my friend. But yeah, this is the spread that I'm going to go with. Plus, after Calm Mind, it boosts my special defense even higher, so I can take hits a little bit better if he does want to bring something like Specs, Pyro, potentially. But again, highly doubted because I do have Mega Altaria. So moving on to Milk Tank. Now originally this Milk Tank was especially defensive with Curse, because I thought that Curse Milk Tank would be able to just destroy his team once I got rid of Doublade. So after building the team, I went to Altaria. For the sake of it, we'll just say this especially defensive Curse Milk Tank. Now obviously Altaria, I think I made Altaria first or second, but this is a very, very awesome set. Okay, let me tell you, the idea behind this set is that originally I was gonna go just full out specially offensive Altaria, because let's take a look at this team. Fire Blast, Hyper Voice, 2 KOs, Hyper Voice, Fire Blast, Hyper Voice, Fire Blast, Hyper Voice. What does this do to me? Nothing. I mean, it's not a thing. It's not a thing. Hyper Voice. Literally, Altaria 2 KOs everything that I thought he was going to bring, which again, was these 6 Pokemon. These were the 6 I was very confident he would bring. So, with this EV spread, with just 124 special attack, I 2 KO every one of these Pokemon. Now, the reason why I decided to go bold with 140 physical defense is because with this EV spread, even with rocks up, a Life Orb Timid Latios cannot 2 KO me with Psyshock. And again, Latios is kind of a bit of a problem, but it's honestly not that big of an issue, I guess. But it's still something that I want to prepare for if I'm not able to Pursuit Trap it with my Skuntank. So ultimately, I had Fire Blast, Hyper Voice, and Roost. Now the reason why I wanted to Fire Blast over Flamethrower, which honestly Flamethrower still does the same thing that Fire Blast does, but if he had max HP, max special defense Doublade, Fire Blast has a chance to 2 KO, as where Flamethrower is, I think, just barely a 3-hit KO, so it really is just better for me to have Fire Blast. But after thinking about it, I realized that Cotton Guard is actually a really, really good move to have, because after +3, even his Adamant Beedrill cannot 3-hit KO my Altaria. And as long as it doesn't poison me, I can just roost off all the damage and pretty much just sweep with Cotton Guard, especially offensive Altaria, which is why I really wanted this set. Now, the reason why I'm not running Dragon Dance over Fire Blast and Return over Hyper Voice is because of Doublade. I can literally do nothing to Doublade even at like +6. He gets up to +6 and he just sweeps through my entire team. So that's why I would rather bring specially offensive as opposed to DD Cotton Guard. So at this point I was thinking, okay, the team is pretty solid. Team is pretty solid so far. But then I realized Belly Drum Azumarill literally tears his team a new one. So after a couple minutes, I decided to change this to Explosion and make Milk Tank. Well, first off, I made Milk Tank physically defensive. I EV'd this to live a +6 Adamant Aqua Jet after, I think it was 2 or 3 Stealth Rock switch-ins, and go for Thunder Wave. And then I can Revenge Kill with Sludge Bomb from Amoonguss, or I can just explode with Fortress, basically. Because with me having Explosion, his Azumarill cannot use me as setup fodder. So, let's say I knock one of his Pokemon out, and I, let's say, well, how would I bring in Fortress? Let's say it's a double down, I bring in Fortress, he brings in Azumarill. He's thinking, okay, he can just Belly Drum on me, but then I go for Explosion, and I think Explosion actually does like 70% min damage, so I wouldn't have to worry about Belly Drum Azumarill then. So that was kind of my thought process. I have one main way to stop Belly Drum Azumarill. I just have to make sure that this does not take any prior damage, and that it's Thunder Wave, because Amoonguss can just come in after Belly Drum as long as it's around, like, yeah, I think it should still knock it out even after Citrus Berry. So I am kind of worried about Azumarill, Belladrum Azumarill. I really am, but I still think that we can combat it fairly well with Miltank. I just have to make sure that it doesn't take too much unnecessary damage. And yeah, that's pretty much just a quick run through of the team, guys. Hopefully y'all did enjoy this. I will try to make this a little bit better for next week, but as I said, I'm just really short on time. And with that being said, guys, I will see you all tomorrow, maybe? Actually, later, potentially. I don't know. Anyways, later, everybody. Thank you all for watching.